Okay, on 13, which graph represents the solution set here? So this is what we talked about yesterday. I'm just going to be concerned right now with this less than or equal to sign. I know the less than tells me that I'm going to be shading below my line. So that's going to get rid of this one and this one. Then the or equal to tells me I need to have a solid line. So that's going to get rid of this one, and I'm left with answer choice C. See how quickly that was if you just remember your inequality rules? And they're still on the board if you need to look up there. 14, again, rate of change. This means slope. We had a question like this earlier. All I'm looking for is the slope. Okay, this time I'm not given points. I'm given a graph here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to find some points that look about right. So this would be 10, comma, negative 50. And then this one's kind of close. It's not really there. It's close enough. Let's do 4, negative 10. So in my calculator, I'm going to use those 2 points to find my slope. So alpha y equals enter. Oops, I missed the button somewhere. Sorry. Alpha y equals enter. Y minus y, so negative 50 minus negative 10. In my denominator, x minus x, so 10 minus 4. Hit enter. Negative 20 over 3. Well, look, all of these are decimals. So to change this answer to a decimal in your calculator, you hit math. You see option 2 says decimal, so we're going to click option 2 and hit enter. And a negative 6.666666, which is really close to answer choice A. And it says best represents, so it doesn't say exactly represents. So we're good there. Okay, what is the prediction of the percentage of baby rhinoceroses body mass at 25 weeks? So this is, we can use this table of values that would help us, or we can use this graph. So this is a scatter plot. So if you wanted to, my line is going to be really ugly. If you wanted to try to draw a line of best fit, you could do that. Sorry, there's an announcement. All right, so we can draw our line of best fit. And my line is pretty thick, but these points would all be under it, and these would be over it. Some of them would be on it. 18, 20, 22, 24. So about right here, which is going to be less than 5. So that would be 2.5. Okay, number 16, which equation is best represented by the graph? So I see on here that I have a negative slope. So if I look at my answer choices, I have a negative 3x here and negative 3x here, but these are positive, so I know I can get rid of those. Then the last thing I need to do is figure out which one has this positive y-intercept of a 5. So I'm going to work this out. So negative 3 times x, so I get y plus 7 equals negative 3x. And then a negative 3 times a negative 4 gives me a positive 12. Then to get the y by itself, I'm going to have to subtract that 7. So y equals negative 3x. 12 minus 7 is a positive 5, which is my y-intercept. So I know this first one was correct. Two customers went to a post office to buy postcards and envelopes. The postcards cost the same amount, and each large envelope cost the same amount. The first customer paid $12 for 14 postcards and 5 envelopes. The second paid $24.80 for 10 postcards and 5 envelopes. What is the cost in dollars of each large envelope? So first, I'm going to say that my postcards are X and my large envelopes are Y. So on this first equation, this person paid $12 for 14 postcards and 5 envelopes. The second person paid $24.80 for 10 postcards, so 10x, and 5 envelopes. Oh, sorry, 15. I read that wrong. Plus 15 large envelopes. So now we have these two equations. So we need to get the y's by themselves so we can graph them. So to get this y by itself, I'm going to subtract my 14x from both sides. Okay, since I can't subtract a 14x from a 12, I'm just going to bring that over. 12 minus 14x equals my 5y. Then my final step to get y by itself is I'll divide everything by 5. Now 5 doesn't go into 12 or 14 evenly, so we're just going to leave those as fractions. 12 over 5 minus 14 over 5x equals y. Okay, then I do the same thing with the second one. I'm going to subtract my x. Ooh. Since I can't subtract an x from a number without an x, I'm just going to leave that 24.80 minus 10x equals 15y. And again, to get y by itself, I'm going to divide everything by 15. So here, this 24.80 divided by 15, I don't know how to do that. I'm going to let my calculator deal with that, and I'm going to have 24.80 divided by 15 equals, now 10 over 15, they both will, sorry, it's not equals, it's minus. 10 over 15 will both reduce by 5. 5 goes into 10 twice and into 15 3 times. Then we have our equals y. So now I have my two equations. I'm going to put them in my y equals in my calculator so I can graph them and solve them. So y equals, clear these out. So my y1, alpha y equals enter, 12 over 5 minus alpha y equals enter. Oh, what happened? Alpha y equals enter. 14 over 5 x. I don't want x in the denominator. There we go, x. And then enter, and then in y2, I'm going to do alpha y equals enter again. I'm going to put that crazy fraction, 24.80 over 15 minus alpha y equals enter 2 over 3x. Okay, so now that they're both in there, I'm going to hit my graph, and I'm going to want to see where my two lines intersect each other. Okay, since I do see that intersection, I'm going to find the intersection by hitting second, trace, 5, enter, enter, enter. And down here, it gives me 0.35 and 1.42. We're looking for envelopes, which is y, so 1.42 would be our answer. A.